Live, investigative, in-depth. Fox Carolina, the 10 o'clock news starts right now.
So much of my sense of what was possible was born right here.
Marching onward, Greenville native and civil rights leader Jesse Jackson comes home for a march for Martin Luther King holiday. Tonight, why he says it's all about reconciliation. Double jeopardy. 2 tornadoes touched down in Lawrence County, ripping apart homes and land.
Strong fumes from burning tires and smoldering smoke from a fire. I'm Fox Carolina's Jennifer Phillips, live in Lawrence County with what firefighters are doing to make sure you stay safe.
Good evening, I'm Tammy Berkner. First on Fox Carolina, live team coverage of the storm system that turned lives in the Carolinas and Georgia upside down. Some people woke up to it, others couldn't sleep because of it. We're talking about that wicked storm system that came complete with heavy rain, lightning, and vicious tornadoes. We begin our live team coverage of Highway 221 and I-85 in Lawrence County, where a tornado was blamed for a massive business fire. Fox Carolina's Jennifer Phillips is live at the TNT Logistics Distribution Center, where firefighters are still monitoring the ashes there. How's it looking, Jen?
Well, Tammy, we're standing outside of the facility, which is a distribution center for Michelin tires. And if you take a look behind me, you can see that there is a fire truck at this gate. And we've seen firefighters go in and out of this facility pretty much all night. I'm told that firefighters from surrounding counties are helping out tonight. And as for those hot spots, they've been contained to one section of the building. And we know that because it's still burning. We can smell the rubber and see some of the smoke. An emergency call to a chaotic scene. A tornado rips the roof off part of the TNT distribution facility, sparking a massive blaze.
It just smelled like, fumes off tires and stuff, It was pretty rough out here.
Jimmy McMahon used to work there.
I used to lump tires and load them up in trailer trucks.
He says thousands of tires are stored here. Many of them are now destroyed. And as the explosive fireball dwindles to small flames and hot spots with the help of dozens of firefighters, daylight brings assessment teams from TNT headquarters and here in Lawrence County. Their job is to survey the damage.
A quarter to a third of the plant's completely destroyed. I mean, it's on the ground.
But investigators say this 1,400,000 square foot facility is built for emergency situations just like this. The facility is divided into 5 sections equipped with durable firewalls, which are allowing firefighters to get inside to fight potentially dangerous flare-ups.
They've got a track loader, a big piece of equipment, construction equipment, inside the fire area, and they're spreading ashes around and trying to knock down the rest of it.
It's a job that could take days, but this former employee says he's relieved no one is seriously hurt.
I never saw anything like that before in my life.
The Lawrence County administrator took a tour earlier today by helicopter. He says there is debris as well as insulation from the roof of this facility and trees for several miles. Now, firefighters are expected to be here all night long watching those hot spots. Live in Lawrence County, Jennifer Phillips, Fox Carolina, the 10 o'clock news.
Thanks, Jen. And we want to remind workers at the Lawrence Distribution Center, you need to call the Employee Emergency Notification number at least 1 hour before your normally scheduled shift starts. The number is on your screen right now. It's 864-682-7800 and then extension 50. We'll, of course, repeat this number later in the newscast just in case you missed it. The tornado in Lawrence County did not discriminate, nor did it limit its path of destruction. Fox Carolina's Lydia St. Mark shows us some of the other places the twister made its presence known.
This may not be Kansas, but to Lawrence residents, last night's twister was like something out of The Wizard of Oz.
Then I heard something sound like a train coming. What hurt me the worst was that I didn't know where my children were.
It also looked like a freight train ripped through her daughter's home that's just down the road.
And this was the den where we would all have been if everybody had been home.
One look around and you can see just how incredibly powerful these tornadoes' winds were. This tree's been here for 30 years and was literally ripped from its roots, creating this crater right here. And if you take a look right over here, you can see this house was completely demolished and there's debris scattered everywhere.
We're lucky to be alive. All of us are alive. This house gone.
She and her husband bought the home just 3 years ago. It's now been condemned.
A lot of this has been moved around from us trying to get through to the back part, but you couldn't have walked through here.
The tornado's wrath only 30 seconds, and yet it could take her family years to rebuild their lives.
I don't know. I hadn't thought about it. Start over. You know, clean this up, rebuy.
The pool's gone, but the bug zapper made it. Strange.
Her husband feels blessed.
You know, our loss is material. That's no big deal. We can get new clothes, we can get a new TV. But the thought of losing 300 or 400 people that I consider friends and folks, you know, it's terrible. It just makes you feel weak thinking about it.
Gene's referring to the wrestling match that was going on at the gym just 200 yards from his home.
10, 20 seconds that this happened.
Just across the street, Gerald Johnson's home no longer has a roof.
From now to then, I guess I'll be cold. And if it rains, I reckon I'll be wet looking at the ceiling up there, but that's the way it goes.
A rodeo wrangler, Mr. Johnson rides horses for a living, and he rode this tornado with the same ease.
I've been divorced 3 times and rebuilt every time out of that. So a little old tornado ain't gonna kill me, I'll guarantee you. I'll run through that and I'll be back here sitting here. Gerald Johnson will be sitting here on this hill a long time from now.
Gene Pinson may not be an award-winning cowboy like his neighbor, but he sure does feel like a winner.
I feel a lot like George Bailey. It is a wonderful life. And you know, sometimes we take things for granted, but times like these make you realize, hey, you know, Lawrence County is a good place to live.
In Lawrence County, Lydia St. Mark, Fox Carolina, the 10 o'clock news.
And tragedy went beyond property damage in Georgia overnight. 2 people were killed when strong storms passed through the state yesterday. The victims there in Arlington were killed after winds shattered their mobile home. 3 other people in the trailer did survive. So the million-dollar question tonight is, of course, what exactly lies ahead? Chief Meteorologist Michael Smith continues our team coverage with some answers from the Genesis Weather Lab. Michael?
Tammy, yesterday we were on the warm side of that storm. That was the volatile side. Tonight we're on the completely opposite side. And I can show you the cloud cover. Look at the bright clouds across eastern North Carolina stretching down to Miami, Florida. That's the cold front, the leading edge of the cold front that came through last night. So we're on the backside. Our skies are clearing out and our temperatures, those are the big story tonight. Already down into the low 30s in Franklin. 36 right now in Asheville, the upstate, into the low and mid 40s, and we're not done dropping yet. Most of us going to be at or well below freezing first thing tomorrow morning. More on the forecast coming up in just a bit. Tammy.
Thanks a lot, Michael. Well, they're rebuilding.